Alright, welcome to another edition of What the Fuck Happenings Here. Alright, yeah, it's not a very elaborate here. And yeah, so is something going to come out of this here, this machine. You know, that's all I am is a machine. And, programmed not very coherently. Yeah, I did acquire some knowledge. I fell down and said, "Ooh, ground hard, don't like." Um, I might have even banged into a couple of trees or something. Maybe even, hit a lamp post because I didn't navigate quite right. Um, I can't think. Since I'm trying to figure out, did I eat something I shouldn't have? I don't know. I mean, I ate some bugs, for money. Let's see. Did some stupid things. Jumped off a roof once for 5 cents. Hard way to make money. But I used to shovel snow for a quarter. I'd make like $2.25, and I'd be out all day shoveling snow. Really incredible. And really, $2 wasn't worth that much. It was worth more, but it wasn't that much more. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just, this thing put together. They tried to, break me in a lot of ways. They took me to the churchy thing, and I just wish, I wish we had, video back then and cameras and all that stuff, just so we could, I'd have a bunch of really silly pictures of, they put me in a choir and I had to wear this stupid gown thing, and I didn't sing. They told me just go ba 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 ba, because, I didn't know the words and I couldn't sing it. But anyway, so what's the point of all this theater? So that's something I did notice, is that everybody else seems to be involved in some sort of pageant. Like they're putting on a little rascal show or something. And I'm just, I wasn't really interested in the singing and dancing part or the show. Didn't even like wearing shoes. So I wasn't very compliant with, having to play the game the way all the bots are playing it. And so I became a bit of a dissident early, I suppose. And just wasn't caught up in all of the hoopla. We're number one. Humans are really cool. Yeah, just, So, so my programming is it's based on the idea that I did learn 2 + 2 = 4. I learned that elephants are heavier than mice. I learned how to balance things, to look at them and balance them and say what's worth what. Do some sort of equating. Not really math, but sort of mathematical. Dimensional. What will fit in what? Okay. And some of that showed in the sense that, even though I failed grammar school, I failed it, frankly. I mean, the best grade I ever got was a C. That was the best. But anyway, the rest were, 90% or something less than that. They measured my capacity to do this logic or reasoning thing. And, apparently I was capable of doing that stuff. So it's, I'm not a totally retarded bot. But, there is reason to doubt, just because, I'm human and I was raised by people who didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Apparently it doesn't occur to parents to realize they're creating a human being that needs skills and capacities to get through life, and that they really need to know the truth. Trying to brainwash them with Santa Claus stories, really bad idea. And the earlier they get comfortable with the idea of what they're really in, is an insidious competition to steal somebody else's goodies, get there before he does. There's only this much cake, and there's a whole bunch of people that want the cake. Musical chairs. That was a good lesson too. I mean, a few times, I remember I guess it was a birthday party thing or something. Now and then somebody would have a more elaborate birthday party, and you'd play some dopey game. And that was a good life lesson game, because it was just so cruel. Yeah, that's it. It was just cruel and mean, you're just destroying other people. That's the plan, is destroy them, suffocate them, deny them the oxygen of the chair. Those are sort of life lessons where things just didn't add up, and I'm saying, no, you're doing it wrong. This is no way to live. And then I grew up, they had radios in cars, and you could hear about wacky crap happening. The president's brother's car falls off a bridge, and, different things happen. And you're just, and you imagine, well, gee, if it could happen to them, I gotta really watch out, because, if bad things can happen to those people that have all this money and power and prestige, and everybody cares about what happens to them, what about me? I mean, I'm not going to matter to anybody. So I'm in big trouble. I better watch it. Better go across bridges really slow. I became sort of risk averse. And so for my early youth, I didn't give a shit about anything called a risk. I didn't even acknowledge the existence of it almost. And then I became the exact opposite, where everything was measured as, what if I get a headache? What if this happens? What if, what if all these negative possibilities, and basically say, fuck, no, I'm not getting out of the house. Bad idea. Everything's a bad idea, because, the way it could go wrong is just so much worse than what can go wrong here. So I'll stick with the what can go wrong here and just ignore all that. And in my opinion, perfectly logical, but you can't live that way, right? You can't. It's not pragmatic. It's not practical in terms of the world we exist in. You can't do it that way. You have to, And so I had a real tough time for a while, where my dissidence and my the practical fact was I just couldn't live in the world that existed. I couldn't find a way to do it, and everything was just horrible struggle. Almost every minute of life was nasty and unpleasant. And then having no money for a while, and homeless, and all very unpleasant. But all lessons in life, that this is not something harmless. A lot of razor blades are attached to this toy, and you've got to handle it very carefully, or you're going to be missing digits. So that's the person who's talking. It goes probably deeper than that. I mean, I could tell you that, well, yes, he's the most brilliant physicist in the history of mankind, because frankly they have it so wrong. It's really easy to get it so right, just because they have it so wrong. You don't have to even get it much right to be so much righter than they're so wrong. The wooicles and the entanglements and the particles with ESP and all this other expanding universes and kinds of bullshit. Anyway, because they just can't do logic. That's the problem. Logic, adding facts. Seeing a fact here and then a fact there and a fact over there, and putting those three facts together and say, what kind of container can those three facts exist in? what kind of picture can I draw with those 3 dots? And what kind of picture should I draw? Should I try to get the right answer, or shall I try to get the answer I want? It's pointing to her house. You should go date her. Should it have something to do with some personal interest, or should it be that you're just trying to find a truth? Okay. The facts, ma'am. Just the facts. And put those together, and we have, people complain that, oh, we don't know everything. Well, we know an awful lot, so you really don't have to know. I mean, how many facts do you need to know that we evolve, so to speak? And it's just there's so many of them, so you could just pick 3 or 4 of them and say, okay, that's show me this fossil, show me that thing, and think about the Galapagos Islands drifting across the continental shelf, and how, the older island has more diversity and the newer ones have less and less, and it just, oh yes, we've been here a while. That didn't happen in a day. Come on. It all adds up, so to speak. I mean, the fact that there was one continent is just kind of obvious. That didn't happen in a day. So that's the story. And once you have that as a fact, that evolution thing, oh well, that's got nothing but bad news in it. It's bloody, tooth clawy, carnage, selfish shit. DNA molecules thinking they're better than all the other DNA molecules. All the insidious child murder and, all the nasty shit that goes on. Playing the little competition game. Pathetic. So you say, as an intelligence, what the fuck do I want to do with any of that crap? What is that? What does that have to do with? Oh, that's right. Doesn't add up. So you become a do-gooder. That's the other part of, just rationally evaluating existence, and you figure out there's good things that can happen or bad things that can happen, and why the fuck would I want to be a tick or a fucking mosquito, carrying malaria or something? You obviously can figure out that, okay, yeah, I know that I like to feel good, other people must like to feel good. Feeling good is good. Feeling bad is bad. I don't want to be a harbinger of pain and suffering and torture. So yeah, I'm going to be a white hat. So yeah, this is somebody who's advocating for white hat behavior, because it's obviously the right choice. There's no other way to logically understand the circumstance. My own sensations are telling me the truth. So I don't need to go any further than that. I don't have to ask any bigger question. Why is there a universe? Why do we feel? Why this? Why? No, I don't have to bother finding those answers, because I know the answers are going to be just as stupid as the answers I already have. For no good reason. That's all we need to know. For no good reason. Why? For no good reason. Yeah, nothing has happened for any good reason. That's not entirely true, obviously. Some things happen for good reasons, because other machines who could figure out to be white hat did white hat things and invent penicillin or something. Alright, so, so I'm making a video. That person. And that robot. That AI. That synthetic intelligence. We're all just synthetic. We've all just been programmed by a circumstance. But yes, there is a difference between doing, putting facts together, okay, as they exist unpolluted, and putting facts together where you put some other fact in to force the image. Yeah. Or more maliciously ignore facts, like the people who ignore evolution and, to exist in their little God delusions. Really pathetic. All right, and so this video I did so sort of, this one wasn't one of the best ones that this machine has made, but the idea, okay, that life is just this redundant cycle of, just like the universe itself, pressurize, depressurize, pressurize, depressurize, want, need, aspire, and struggle, sometimes win, get a little bit of pleasure, and then move on to the next mosquito bite, the next pimple. And that's all life is solving problems, finding them and solving them. That's what the life of the bot is, because of evolution. Evolution made us that way, is to keep fiddling with the perceived reality and saying, what do I need to change in it? How do I need to alter it to have a better paradise, so to speak. And so we all know I need my harem, and I need my food, and I need my blah, 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 blah. You need all this crap. And so your brain just keeps finding more reasons to go out and try to solve a problem, fix something that's broken in the environment, in your environment. And the broken is based not on some big idea of what's broken for all of us. It's based on this moronic idea that what don't I personally have to suit what I personally need, kind of thing. Yeah. And so, yes, live out your life, do the best you can with it, but don't make any more messes. Don't continue to force humans to keep showing up here to play a really dumb musical chair, cruel, stupid game. Okay, that's probably enough to say. Yeah, quit doing that. I mean, musical chairs for real, where the damage is permanent, where what is lost is real. Yeah, stop doing that. All right, play button is somewhere here.
The problem is attempting communication.
Oh, yeah, so I talked a bit about this. So this is me, okay, and I have a problem. It's a problem for me, and it's a problem I see in the world, okay. And I'm not going to, it doesn't look like I'm going to get the solution in my lifetime. So the solution isn't going to be reached. I'm not going to get to do the, oh, gee, that feels so good to have accomplished my task, or any of that. And that's, that sucks. But it's such a minor part, I guess, of the story that you'd say, okay, who cares about me? And in the sense that if the solution is actually reached, then who cares, right? It's like, I don't know, Moses taking them to the promised land or something. And let's say Moses dies right before they get there. Yeah, it's too bad, but the getting there was the important part. But I'm just saying that's why, my robot, my programming has figured out somehow that this is what I have to do to be a white hatter. And I have to do it better. It's saying that. It's saying your hat is dirty and it's crooked and you gotta do better, you fucker.
Yeah, that is a God running the show. Come on.
Okay, so yeah, I was just mocking the religious shit. It's just so... I mean, how could people fall for that? And you're saying, oh, those are the people I have to talk to? Oh, shit. I mean, they're that stupid that they would believe some dopey It's not even a story that comes from some region where there's a good reason to respect what comes out of that place in the world. You know, it's just, you know, these are, you know, the same people be calling these people towel heads, and they're going to believe anything they say. I mean, that's funny too. It's so bad.
Who's lucky enough not to get in some way or other broken or be defective, you know, be stressed.
Okay, so I guess I was just making the point that, you know, and you know, most people aren't going to be lucky like that. They're not going to evade all of the slings and arrows. They're not going to evade the Damocles swords. They're not going to stay on the tightrope. They're going to take some damage, and certainly not a free ride. Certainly not a gift. You know, the gift that keeps on cutting your fingers off. Oh, choke. I believe I'm back.
Glib.
Yeah, well, we can't say more than that, right? That's just the word of the day. It should be the word of the week, the word of the century, the word of the millennium. That's the real battle. So it's really not white hat, black hat. It's glib hat. Okay, hat that doesn't even understand the concept of there being something at stake. They're just so preoccupied by, you know, just being a knee-jerk that they haven't figured out that, oh, it's a brain and it can do more than just knee-jerking. That kind of thing. It's just that bad, really. You know, when people can't even figure out that they're in a how do you feel game, and that's really what you're chasing are feelings, whether they're created by delusional thoughts or real thoughts. It doesn't matter. That's a feeling. Pretending you won the lottery is just as good as the real thing, as long as you don't really need the money.
You know, or the recklessness and sloppiness of your decision.
Okay, so just making fun of, again, procreators who really haven't given it any thought. But again, most of the procreators are exactly in that condition. I mean, you can see them. They're, I don't even know how to... I mean, the brain to ass proportions are way out of line. And so they have just, you know, there's just no hope that they're going to get any right answers. And so they're going to go do stupid things. And again, they're not even going to know the difference between smart and stupid. The concept doesn't even exist for them. They're so out of the game.
Look at it. You know, but the whole idea of imposing.
Oh, there you go. That's a good word. So again, it's just this rude thing. You're just these, you know, the two things go together: ignorance, stupidity, rudeness. You know, the whole degrade in our civilization is clearly not because we imported a bunch of intellectuals with violins. No. No, it's because we imported a bunch of morons with hammers. Oh, shit.
It's like calling yourself a disease. It's just, you know, cancer. I mean,
yeah. So more about the blight people, and they'll even label themselves. They don't even. They'll do it right in your face. They'll actually, you know, take a shit right in your living room, right in your face. They just don't care that, you know, you don't have to have your camera running. You know, they're perfectly. Yes, I admit I'm trying to be obnoxious, smelly, annoying, irritating. I'm trying to just piss you off because that's all I can do. I'm no good at anything else but being a disgusting blob of shit. They have no other skill.
To play some sport. or some contest. And again, that's just, for the smart people, the puzzle is...
Yeah, so we're all playing different puzzles. I was sort of saying, some people are big giant pieces and it's Daffy Duck. And other people are trying to solve puzzles that have 1.5 million pieces. And the picture is going to be really, really complicated. Little squares that go into other little squares that go into little squares. And that's a problem because the people doing the big puzzle, they can't, smart people can do dumb puzzles. Dumb people can't do smart puzzles.
Composing the right music or choreographing the right movement.
Right, so we're just talking about the fact that some people are playing a much more complicated game of problem solving than other people. And the people playing this simple game ought to just admit, I shouldn't be responsible for anything. I should sort of be in a controlled environment because I'm really not paying any attention. Okay. All those important questions, all these ideas about, what happens to my sewage, when I flush the toilet, all of that shit I don't want to know anything about, how it all really works. And so I really shouldn't be able to make decisions like creating humans because you're just not going to pay attention to what creating a human means.
You win. Somebody else who would have won won't be the winner.
Yeah. So I've pointed that one out. That was one of those events in my maturation in my early programming, where the machine had whoa, holy shit! You mean everything I do is fucking with somebody else's life? Oh shit! I mean that was one of those oh shit moments. Where I said, what am I doing here? Why am I playing this game? No, thank you. I really don't want that. All right. Yeah, I don't want to pick an apple and then have somebody else starve because I ate their apple.
Say, yeah, it's great. Gambling's fun, or something like that. I mean, it's just like, how could you keep voting for?
Yes, they just keep voting for waste suffering. They put it on a ballot and people vote for, yes, let's waste more suffering for trivial reasons so we could have more pink balloons. Pink balloons are so pink and balloony. How could you vote against pink balloon? Who cares how many people die for it? Is that ridiculous, actually? It really is that ridiculous. Again, you could just put up the statistics for all the silly sports. Swim the fastest, how many kids have drowned? Dive off a diving board, how many kids have broken their backs? Blah, blah. You go through all this stuff and you say, you'll kill kids and disable kids and put kids in wheelchairs for this? Oh, you are, quite retarded. Oh, shit.
Where it hadn't occurred to you that this is a hell of a thing you're doing.
So I'm just pointing out again, making a human being kind of serious business. If all you know how to do is, you can't even use chopsticks or something. You can't draw a straight line, let alone walk one. Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be reproducing.
You're just gonna... They might say something like, well, you couldn't do better than that.
Yeah, so I was talking about my own, the grief I must endure, being totally unsatisfied with my efforts, and just, imagining the future cursing me for being, you couldn't have done better, because I couldn't save them, They're going to be run over, and the steamroller still has my name on it because I didn't do what needed to get done, and they're probably going to be a little bit smarter than me, so they're going to say in hindsight, I mean, how could you have missed this easy way you could have solved the problem? Yeah, I don't think this guy. Yeah, it's hard to. It wasn't that damn easy. But somebody will invent the easy way, right? Somebody will do whatever. Yeah. Somebody will invent SpongeBob and he'll run for president and that'll solve the problem.
It's just fall, and you end up becoming, you know, stuck in fixing the problem.
Oh, okay. So something about this, just the idea that we just move from problem solution, problem solution, problem solution, problem solution, problem. Oh, fuck this. I don't need problems. That's my solution, not to have any problems in the first place.
And this is the backyard, and they're in the way.
Okay, so yeah, the motorcyclists were leaving. Oh, fuck. The cliches were being on their way. Oh, you know, the hot dog hamburger event. You know, the cliche human fun. Yeah, it just looks like, I don't know, it looks almost like sticking a nail in your eye. It's so the opposite of what I would define as a fun event, especially considering what they all look like. Fuck. I mean, you really do now and then need something pretty to look at.
Well, so what? I'm also disappointed. Fuck you.
Okay, so yeah, to all the people who say, "Oh, yeah, it's another shitty repeat video." Blah, 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 blah. Okay. I admit it's not good enough. All right, fuck you. I have to live with that disappointment too, shithead. You don't need to rub it in my face. Anyway, doing the best I can. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Trying to juggle it all and figure out which is more important and all that, and trying to prioritize, but it's just very difficult. And I'm not even, frankly, I'm broken, and you're expecting me to do all of this stuff perfectly, and I'm broken. I'm Linux. Okay, I can do, I do all right, and then every now and then, I just totally fuck whoever's using Linux, because yes, I have to, do something, like just for no good reason, not rendered the video. Anyway, okay, so I think that's enough. Yes, yeah, it's good enough. Okay, so, we'll move along, continuing, blah, 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 talk, blah blah blah. That's all I can do is try to put it all in pieces and then say, look, see, these pieces all put together look just like this, and this looks like vomit. You don't want to do that. All right. Anyway, so till the next time, and such and so forth and whatnot. But anyway, continuing, and such, so forth.